Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, right? I'm a. For those that come on live, I'm sorry I'm a little late. I got wrapped up doing my gratitude. But, anyways, I am here. Today is World Pancreatic Cancer Day, and, oops. It's also Daily Affirmators Day, which I completely forgot. So sorry. Yeah, I think I got it all. Sorry about that. I came up here early enough. So yeah, I was working on my gratitude, and I am super duper excited. I saw my cousin Jeannie's post this morning, and it is Free Holiday Red Cup Day. Now, every year I miss this, and by the time I get to Starbucks, everything's gone. Because, right, it's like while supplies last. But it's also the first day I get to have my peppermint mocha. I love peppermint mochas. I drink these pretty much year round because most of the time they will keep the peppermint on the shelf now because they got smart. But yeah, there's something different when it's nice and cool outside. But I got my red cup. I got two because I got sibling a drink too. So I'm so happy. I know people are like, really? It's a cup. But you know what? It's the little things. I put these in quotes because the little things are the big things. The little things add up to big things. The little things are the best things. The best things. So anyways, on that note, I will be getting to the daily affirmators. But first, I wanted to do, today is World Pancreatic Cancer Day. So, Thursday, November is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. Monday, I will be talking about CRPS, which is what sibling has, because November is also RSD/CRPS, Chronic Regional Pain Syndrome Month. And unfortunately, I missed that day. That day was on the 6th. So it's the first Monday. Its date is dedicated to the first Monday of every November. But November is also its awareness month. But today is World Pancreatic Cancer Day. I lost my mom to pancreatic cancer 9 years ago on September 12th, 2014. That's where the 14 came from. And yesterday I had mentioned that I was going to go and release her ashes at the beach. I did. The minute I left my house, it started raining. It was pretty much pouring on my entire drive there. It let up a little bit, but the funny thing is once I released her ashes, what do you call it? It stopped raining. The sun didn't come out, but it stopped raining. So I talked to baby sibling yesterday about this, and and we both agreed. I mean, she said it, and I was already thinking it, but rain is very cleansing. It's good to wash all that stuff away, right? So, and it was kind of fun. It was actually kind of comedic how the ash releasing went. So, but anyways, I've dealt with my grief over my mother. And, it's like I tell people, when you lose somebody and you have grief, you never get over it. You learn to live with it. So there are still times when the thought of my mom makes me sad, but, right now I'm in a good place with it. I understand there's nothing I can do about it, right? I mean, she's gone, so I can't bring her back. I do have a little bit of her hair, so I guess I could create another mom. But really, we've all seen Pet Sematary, all right? Whatever you create is not the same thing, so don't do it. Don't do it. So no, I did keep a little bit of her hair. My aunt had me cut that off just to kind of have something, I think. But I did release her ashes. So, and it went well. I was surprised at how well it went. But yeah, so that being said, the first half of this show is going to be dedicated to talking about pancreatic cancer. All right, know your symptoms, know the hashtags, and all these things. And then we're going to pick it up and go with the affirmators because, we'll start on a little bit of a not melancholy, but the more you know kind of thing. And then we're going to finish it off on the high note, all right? So I'm going to read this, which is the symptoms of pancreatic cancer, but I'm also going to talk about some of the bullet points that I made, which might cover these again. But I figure, you know what, even if you hear it twice, you're going to know, all right? Maybe it'll stick in your head. From what I know, from what I know, and I know, good morning, older sibling. Older sibling wasn't on yet when I mentioned this, but Monday I'm going to talk about CRPS. So, because it's also their month of awareness. But like I said, today is Pancreatic Cancer, World Pancreatic Cancer Day. If you want more information, whether you know someone who's had pancreatic cancer or not, whether you've even heard of pancreatic cancer or not, I don't know how you couldn't, right? I mean, Richard Roundtree just passed away. Fabulous actor, played Shaft, but he had a lot of other roles in this world. My understanding is he had pancreatic cancer. There's a lot of famous people that have passed away from pancreatic cancer. All the Harry Potter fans, even though Alan Rickman had dealt with prostate cancer early on, it was pancreatic cancer that really kind of took him out in the end. So, and they didn't find it until he had a stroke. So, pancreatic cancer is everywhere. Eric Idle is in my notes. I believe it was Eric Idle. And he actually does, every year, he goes in for a full physical, but his doctor does an MRI on him. So they actually found him in early stages of pancreatic cancer, very early stages, which is about the only time that people survive, is if, my understanding, if you find it in stage 1 or early stage 2. After that, it's a bit of a crapshoot. So, some people do, some people don't, but wherever they found it, he is a survivor. So, if it affects anybody, and the problem with pancreatic cancer is it just kind of sneaks up on you, because there's really no test for it unless you ask for it, unless you look for it. So for me, because it runs in my family now because of my mother, when I get my blood test done every 6 months, my doctor has put in there to include my pancreas for blood tests so we can see where my pancreas is at. So the hashtags for World Pancreatic Cancer Day are, it's about time, and that goes with, it's about time you learn, the signs and symptoms of pancreatic cancer. Hello pancreas, because we don't think about our pancreas, right? I mean, our pancreas is what creates the insulin. It's what, it's so important. It is a huge functioning organ, but we don't think much about it. We don't give much thought to it unless something's going wrong. And the other hashtag, WPCD, which is World Pancreatic Cancer Day. So pancreatic cancer has the lowest survival rate among all major cancers. Every day, more than 1,000 people worldwide will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. The symptoms, and like I said, I'll read it again this after we're done with my notes here, but abdominal pain, unexplained weight loss, indigestion, changes in stool, mid-back pain, jaundice, which is like the yellowing of your skin or eyes. So if you're starting to look like a snake, please get seen, because that could be anything. It could be, I think, your liver or your pancreas. So or it could be something completely different. But get that checked, all right? If you feel like you're turning yellow and your eyes are getting yellow, that's a deficiency, and you need to have that checked. And loss of appetite or nausea. So it also says new onset diabetes, but I don't want people to go out there and say, "Oh my God, I'm type 2. I have pancreatic cancer." No. That's why that one, I put that one in parentheses, because I'm kind of like, what, if you are a type 2 or you are a diabetic, just make sure that you have your pancreas checked, okay? The pancreas does all the work in the center of the body. It's behind your stomach and in front of your spine. So that would explain the mid-back pain or indigestion and all this stuff. It's one of the deadliest underfunded cancers. Okay, do you hear me? It is one of the deadliest underfunded cancers. Pancreatic cancer does not currently have a cure. And, I'm not saying anything about any of the other cancers, but a lot of the other cancers get so much more attention than pancreatic cancer does. And it's, I don't know why, but it does. And I think on the level of cancer itself, they're all important to do research on, all of them. But pancreatic cancer has one of the lowest survival rates because most of the time when people find it, it's in its late stages. And if you were in your late stages, that's it. So, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. It is very rare if somebody survives in stage 4. I'm not even sure if it's possible, but I heard somebody survived in stage 4, so apparently it's possible. All right, anything is possible, right? Anything is possible. So, but you don't want it to get to that stage. So 75% of those diagnosed with pancreatic cancer do not survive the first year. The average time from diagnosis to death is 16 to 20 weeks or 4 to 5 months. My mom was diagnosed in May of 2014. 117 days later, she passed away in September of 2014. So that was just shy of 4 months. So, that says everything, right? That says everything. So, the symptoms of pancreatic cancer. If you are persistently experiencing one or more of these symptoms, which are not normal for you, do not ignore them. Upper back pain, indigestion not responding to prescribed medication, new onset diabetes not associated with weight gain. Oh, there it is. New onset diabetes not associated with weight gain. So, just check it out. Like I said, if you are diagnosed with diabetes, that doesn't mean you have pancreatic cancer, but it's a good idea to have it checked anyways, because it's a preventable measure. All right. Fatigue, low mood or depression, upper abdominal pain, pain when eating, jaundice, pale and smelly stools that don't flush easily, and unexplained weight loss. So common misdiagnosis are gallstones, irritable bowel syndrome, indigestion, gastritis, gastroenteritis, and liver disease. Now, what I want to share here is it's really a story. I blamed everything under the sun. I blamed this, that, and the other. But really, when it comes down to our health, we have to be our best advocates. We are the ones. My mom had gone to her doctor, and she was complaining about a lot of these symptoms. I have the back pain, which, you never think about that, right? You never think that your back can be associated with this kind of thing. But your body is, it's a machine. It's a machine. Think about like a clock, right? If one little wheel in a clock goes askew or stops working, the whole clock stops working. Or it functions minimally and it doesn't function right. So, or in a car, right? I mean, sure, maybe something goes out, but, you still have to, the car may not be functioning at its full thing. So our bodies are like automobiles. Our bodies are like a clock. Our bodies are like these mechanical things, except it's organic because, obviously we are flesh and blood. But my mom had been complaining about a lot of these symptoms, and we didn't know. I mean, pancreatic cancer didn't run in my family. I don't know. I don't know. All right. So she went in and she was diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome. And when we spent our last birthday together, my mom and I are both January babies. So we spent our last birthday together. We always spent it the last weekend of January, where we go out and do stuff. Even if we were able to see each other on our birthdays, it was always our day to go out and just do whatever, right? Mom and daughter day. And she just had tea. That's it. She had tea. And her tummy started acting up. Now, I told her, I said, well, how long has this been going on? Because she had to stop like several times to go to the restroom. And it's like, well, how long has this been going on? And something just didn't sit right with me, right? Like my little spidey senses were going off. And she's like, well, and finally she just said, you know what, just stop. I've already been to my doctor. We already talked about it. I have irritable bowel syndrome. Well, I know people who have IBS. And it didn't seem normal, the kind of symptoms she was having. So, I was kind of like, well, all right. But, my mom is one of those where it's like, when she tells you to stop, you stop. So it's like, fine. I can't do anything about it. I can't force her to do anything. So I had to let it go. So anyways, 4 months later, she ended up in the hospital and the ER because she was having pains after going out and hanging out. And then after one of my uncle's birthdays, it's a party, right? There's alcohol, there's everything. She ended up in the ER again. No, that was the first time. And they told her, well, we don't know, but, then they go with the whole IBS thing again or something like that. And then it's like the second time she ends up there and they're like, well, we think it might be pancreatitis. Okay, so they keep her in the hospital for a few days and they do like an ultrasound and a x-ray and all this stuff on her. My mom had a tumor the size of a fist, if not bigger. And that's what had been causing all this. It was pushing up against her pancreas. It was pushing up against her stomach. And 2 weeks later, she got her diagnosis. The first diagnosis was you have cancer. 5 days later, they gave her the official diagnosis of which cancer. And I remember that night when she called me. And she, she's like, well, I got my diagnosis. I remember the day. I remember it was just after 5 o'clock. And I remember her just telling me what it was and what stage she was in. And if she did treatment, she would have a possibility of living 6 months to 2 years. And she was diagnosed at stage 4, advanced stage 4, which is basically the kind way of saying you're terminal and you're going to die. And I'm not trying to be scary, I'm not trying to be dramatic. This cancer shows up so late in people that's why 75% of the people diagnosed will die until we find a cure. And we have to find a cure. We need to make this a priority along with other cancers to find this cure, or to find a way to treat it, to get people into remission faster and to keep them there. Because not everybody can afford to go to the doctor and have, a full-blown MRI done on them. Not a lot of people think about it. I had a CT scan recently for something totally different, but they didn't find anything in me. So it's like, thank goodness. But, my mom didn't know. She trusted her doctor. And for a while I blamed the doctor. And I'm sure that wasn't fair of me. But, like I said, this wasn't something that ran in the family. But if you are a doctor and somebody comes to you with this and it's not, responding to medicine, please check them out. Because you know what? I was reading an article that says a lot of doctors miss it because if it doesn't run in the family, nobody thinks about it. This needs to be a priority in taking care of your health. Whether you have pancreatic cancer in your family or not, make it a priority. My cousin's husband's mother passed away not long after my mom. Same thing, pancreatic cancer. So now we're both sitting there, we both lost our moms, and we're like, oh, what do we do about this? So know your symptoms. And if you have family members, just tell them, look, what harm is there in checking it out? Okay, what harm is there in checking it out? Because, there are a lot of misdiagnoses in pancreatic cancer. And I don't want someone to have to lose a family member because, they ignored the symptoms. All right. So those are your tips and whatnot. So, like I said, we're going to end on the high note. Let's get to the Affirmators deck. But I just wanted to share all that, guys, because, literally, I watched my mother wither away. I watched her with her pancreatic cancer, and my dad and I both agreed that we kind of wish that she hadn't done treatment. I mean, at that advanced stage, I think it pushed her in the direction. She was so miserable for those 4 months. I mean, you're super sad when they're gone because it's like, wow, I'm never going to be able to hug this person again. I'm never going to be able to talk to this person again. But with this cancer, you're also relieved because you see them. My mom lost 60 pounds in less than 3 months. And not through, some medical regimen, not through exercise, but because her body was shutting down. Her body was withering away and her organs were just kaput. So know the symptoms, know the signs. And even if it's a false alarm, just know that, taking care of yourself is good. If you want to, if you do blood tests like I do every 6 months, because I have to keep an eye on my thyroid because my thyroid can also affect my heart. But my doctor has agreed to put pancreas on the blood test list. So at least get that done, checked, and all that stuff, all right? And if you are type 2 diabetic, or if you are diabetic, keep an eye on these things, okay? Keep an eye on these things because it's your pancreas, and your pancreas is a huge thing with producing your insulin. So it's very, very important to keep your eye on that, all right? So, Affirmators. Actually, I'm going to go with the next card. So, I'm going to save that one for a couple of days from now. I don't know why. I just feel like doing something different. And we needed to end on a high note, and that one's really not a high note. So, magic. Who doesn't love the bunny pulling a bunny out of a hat? Ta-da! I believe in magic. I see evidence of it. Apparently, I forgot how to read. I believe in magic. I see evidence of it all the time. And though the tricks can probably be explained away by something sensible and ordinary, I'd rather not ruin the fun. Other people can fill their days with mere coincidence. I'll fill mine with holy crap, that's unbelievable. So again, I believe in magic. I can see evidence of it all the time. And though the tricks can probably be explained away by something sensible and ordinary, I'd rather not ruin the fun. Other people can fill their days with mere coincidence. I'll fill mine with holy crap, that's unbelievable. So right now, and I know there's some people that just go, oh my God, stop. But right now, Sibling and I are doing this book called The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. She wrote The Secret. And it really is about law of attraction. Now, people will sit there and see magic and go, oh my God. But, not so much the case here. Okay, so the magic is about gratitude. Gratitude. And gratitude can be your magic word. When you are grateful for things, when you find the good even in the bad things. Some people say, oh, stop being, this, sunshiny person. It's not forced, all right? If you are doing a fake it till you make it, you are forcing the positivity. You are forcing yourself to feel good, and you're not dealing with what's going on inside, all right? One of my favorite tools that I've learned in therapy: identify, acknowledge, feel it, heal it. So identify what you're going through or what trigger might be coming up. Acknowledge it. Don't push it down. Acknowledge it. Feel it and then heal it. Now, feeling it is tricky because sometimes we get stuck in these feelings. All right, but this is where the magic comes in. We are our own magicians of our life. We are the ones who sit there and say, you know what? I can do this, or I can say that, or I can be all negative about it. And, we're human. We are going to be negative about things. But before we drift into the full-blown negativity where it ruins an entire day, or it ruins the rest of your week, or the rest of the month, or the rest of the year, be grateful for what you have. Okay? If you, I'm really trying not to jinx anything here, but, if, maybe you're sick. All right? We'll go back with the pancreatic cancer thing. Maybe you're sick. Maybe you have a cold. And all of a sudden everything hurts. So you're freaking out and you're like, oh my God. Well, be grateful for your health. I'm so happy and grateful that my health is keeping me alive, or the gift of health is keeping me alive. Say that every day and say it with feeling. Keep yourself healthy. Keep yourself going. I have no idea why my mom got pancreatic cancer, but she did, and I can't change it. And for a long time, I was negative about it. For a long time, I blamed everybody under the sun. Why didn't she be more of an advocate for herself? Why didn't the doctor catch it? Why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? And the only thing that I would say to doctors is, please do the extra work. But if the doctor's not going to do the extra work, be your own advocate. I'm very lucky and I'm very grateful because I have gratitude that I have a good doctor who listens to me. And she's the one that actually said, when we were talking about my mom and all that stuff, because I saw her a couple weeks after my mom's passing anniversary. And she said, well, you know what? We're going to add pancreas to your blood test. Just remind me, because it's not part of the normal blood tests that we order. It's not part of the normal, like when you watch those TV shows and I need a full set of blood tests, la la la, this, that, and they spew off all these, mechanical nurse words or medical words. It's not part of that normal regimen. So I have to remind her to add the pancreas to there. But it's advocating for yourself. And that goes with magic, because magic is, again, I see evidence of magic all the time. If you're thinking about a loved one and suddenly a butterfly or a hummingbird or whatever thing that you shared together suddenly appears in front of you, is it a coincidence or is it magic? Is it them saying, hi, I'm thinking about you? Or this is a sign to show you that I'm looking over you. And yeah, not everybody believes in all of that stuff, and that's okay. Maybe the butterfly is just coming there to remind you of, wow, what this great, wonderful thing you had in your life. It hurts when people pass. But the magic in all of this is we had that time with them. Even if you, I was mad about Sissy passing for a long time because, about 6 months before she passed, we sat down, we had a great talk. We were on this great level and we had taken our sisterhood to the next level, and she passed away. And I was like, whoa, I feel a little gypped here. Come on. But now when I think back on it, I'm grateful that I had the time with her that I did. Good and bad. When you're like sisters, you're like sisters. But to everybody in my life. Oh, good morning, Diane. Even Diane. So, our friends, our family, even if we don't see them all the time, be grateful for them. That's where the magic of our life comes in. You know, even though the tricks can be explained away by something sensible and ordinary, why would you want to ruin the fun? That could be about life, right? Maybe this is an explanation for life, the magic of life. We don't know what's going to happen in the next moment. We don't know what's going to happen in the next minute. I don't even know what I'm going to say in a minute. Okay? Because, like I said, I roll off the cuff with these things. So I don't know what's going to come up next, what I'm going to say next, or if I'm going to repeat myself 4 more times. What I do know is that if we try to peek behind the curtain, you're going to ruin the magic. I know that people go to mediums, I know that people go to psychics, and that's okay. Because you're never given really a timeline unless you're asking something very specific. But you don't know when it's going to happen. So for those people that do, go through those things, it's okay. It's fine. I don't care. Do what you want to do. I mean, I do a Oracle Friday every Friday. But it's really about guidance. How do you want to bring these things into your life? If you're constantly being negative, like say you're single, for instance, right? Remember how you used to always complain about being single? Well, I'm still single, but I've had a new perspective on it. I was always looking to someone to fill that void. But I have to fill that void. We shouldn't need someone to fill that void. We should desire a relationship, or we should desire a partner or a soulmate to fulfill this extra part of our lives, to bring that extra joy, that extra spark to our lives, not to just fill the void. Now, for some people, that's what's necessary. And when they meet their soulmates early, it's because that person has something they need to teach them. That person, the other person may not, one of the people may not have a great support system. So they get this gift. And if you are one of those people, don't squander that gift. If somebody believes in you and somebody cares about you and somebody constantly puts up with your crap so that, you can get better, be appreciative and change. We don't have to wander through our past trying to find the answers, because most of the time we probably won't. There's not always an answer out there. And when you wander through your past, are you really able to change anything? No. One of my favorite sayings is from the movie Bridge of Spies, from Abel, when Jim asks him, all these people hate you, all these people are sending you death threats, why doesn't it bother you? And he says, would it help? And that's a good question to ask yourself. I literally have it on a little sticky note or a little label right on my computer. Would it help? And the funny thing is, I see that every day, but I don't see it. But now I'm trying to live that. Would it help? Would me getting angry over something I can't change help? Would me getting angry over a situation I'm in now help? No, it won't. If you want your situation to improve, use gratitude. If you want your situation to improve it. But do your best to not go backwards. My mom used to always tell me, don't look back, you're not going that way. But sometimes I think we need to look back, just like older siblings says, to see how far we've come. But that's the only reason we should look back. Otherwise, do what my mom says. Don't look back. You're not going that way. Your past is in your past for a reason. Take the lessons, learn from it, and, create this magic in your life, right? Fill your life with holy crap. That's unbelievable. Sure, if you want to believe in coincidences, that's fine. That's great. And there's a lot of people out there because, sometimes, the law of attraction cannot be explained. The other day I was thinking about, when they were literally just a couple days ago, I was thinking, I wonder if I missed the Starbucks free holiday cup. And then it just skipped my mind, right? And then today I decided to hit snooze on my alarm. Now, the first thing I did for some unknown reason is I opened Facebook, and which I usually don't do. I usually do my Wordle in the morning because it's my brain to, kind of get that brain jogging with the smarts. And instead I opened Facebook, and there was my cousin's post. Oh, I got Starbucks early enough and got my free holiday cup. And I'm like, oh, holiday cup. Boy, you never see me get ready so fast. I mobile ordered, went there, and I thought, I don't see anybody coming out with these things. And so I went in and I saw them in the corner. And apparently you have to ask for them. So I said, also, I'm all, does it, and I'm not really good at speaking up because I get a little shy sometimes. Sometimes I am just like, woohoo, but that early in the morning, I mean, I'm like a car that's, under snow that needs to defrost in the morning, okay? I'm just like I got to work up to this, being an extrovert. So I'm all like, does this also come with the holiday cup? And, when I first got there was like just a crowd of people hanging out right in front, right, all waiting for their drinks. And I had mobile ordered. Everybody's eyeballing me because I'm walking right to the front and all my drinks are ready because I'm smart enough to mobile order. And she's all, oh, sure, let me just grab those for you. And then she asks me, she says, so, are you having a good day so far? I'm like, oh my God, this is like the first time in my life I've ever gotten the holiday cup because I've been early enough to get one. I'm like, I'm having a great day. It wasn't even 7 o'clock yet. So, we can change the course of our day. We can decide whether or not we want to sit in anger, sit in pain, sit in hurt, or we can do something about it. We can change it. We can say, you know what? There's nothing I can do about this. So I'm just going to move forward and try to not let it sit too much in my head. All right? Get out of your head. Trust me, I spend enough time in my head and it doesn't work. I spend enough time overthinking. I have probably done enough overthinking to power the planet. And me and all of my other overthinkers out there, we have probably done enough to power the universe because that's how much we overthink. And that's a big part of where anxiety comes from. So be careful. All right. I'm not saying that, having gratitude or being grateful or learning how to change your day is going to get rid of your depression and it's going to get rid of your anxiety. I don't know. I still struggle with depression. I still struggle with anxiety from time to time. But what I do know is that I'm in control. And that's the best I can do for myself. And that's the best that we can do for anyone. Because, sometimes when we let our moods get out of control, we take it out on people that we don't want to take it out on. We hurt our loved ones, we hurt our friends, we hurt people around us, and we don't want to do that, right? No, you don't want to do that. So take a deep breath, learn to count to 10, and remind yourself that the world isn't against you. If you have a lot of anger inside, it might feel like the world is against you. Okay, it might feel like everything that's happening is, just to beat you down some more. That's when you need to work on self-love and self-worth. Because you do deserve to have a wonderful life. You do deserve to have this magical life of yours. And not every moment will be perfect, but it's how we respond to those moments that makes the difference. All right? So, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public. Anybody can watch under Shelley Marie Lucas. I'm not sure if we're going to do Oracle Friday tomorrow or not, but I will definitely be back with either the Affirmators or the Oracles. So whether I do the Affirmators or the Oracles tomorrow, remember, we're still going through this whole deck. We still got over 45 cards to go. But they're fun, right? They're fun. I'm ramping up. I'm slowly working my way back into the Aloha Perspective. And I'm also going to start doing some research because since it's called the Aloha Perspective and since I do have a bloodline, since I am a bloodline Hawaiian / Polynesian and I was raised in the Hawaiian culture, I'm going to try to figure out how to dedicate a day to the Hawaiian culture. In fact, I might move Oracle Fridays, okay? So Friday, because Aloha Friday is a big thing in Hawaii, Aloha Friday. So I might make those, I might dedicate that day, but I still have to do some work on it. I still have to do some research on it because I don't want it to get stale and I don't want it to get icky. So, I'm tapping into my Aloha and I'm tapping into my upbringing. So again, have a great, great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Diane, thank you for popping on. And, I hope you have a very, very happy Thanksgiving as well. Thank you. And take care, everybody. Have a great day.